Hello there everybody, welcome back to Ugarigwen Music, where today we're not just looking at one, we're not just looking at two, but we're going to look at three Jet guitars to work out which is the best one for you. I like Jet guitars, they're good. In the past couple of months I've bought three of them. All with my own hard-earned cash. Nothing is sponsored, nobody's paying me for these things, so in as far as you can trust anybody out there on the internet, you can trust what I'm saying because no one's paying me. These genuinely are my opinion, so if I say something's good, I think it's good. If I say something's shit, trust me, it's shit. But that's not the case with these guitars. I think they're all really nice. You can check out the individual videos for all these three guitars elsewhere on my channel. If I remember, and I might not because I'm a bit, thick that way. If I remember, I'll put the links into the description so that you can click on them and check them out for yourself. Down to business. First up is my JT300 Telecaster style guitar, with one massive difference to kind of Fender or Squier or anybody else that you might think out there. Headstock, remarkably like a traditional kind of Strat, isn't it? That's because all of these three guitars at this price point use the same neck, and they all therefore have the same headstock, and I think that's nice. It's nice to have that kind of break from a traditional Telecaster kind of style. And on the plus side, it means that all three of the necks on these guitars are just about identical. And if you've watched my other videos, you'll know that I absolutely rave about the necks on these guitars. They are just such comfortable things to play. Maybe we'll talk a bit more about those later. But overall, the Telecaster, this I think is my favourite of the three at the moment, although maybe that's because we're just in the honeymoon period. This only arrived a couple of weeks back, and I've gigged it at every gig I've played since, and it is such a lovely thing to play. It's really comfortable, it feels good in your hand, it's a good weight. I think it's probably about sort of 7.5 pounds, something like that, so it's not too heavy. They're made of basswood, which I don't think is as dense as stuff like, older or popular, and it's also cheaper, right? But as we've said before, who cares about that? It makes absolutely no difference. All this crap about tone woods and stuff, look, it's a reasonably priced electrical guitar. Don't worry about those things. You are not going to tell the difference. And anybody that tells you otherwise is talking shit, okay? It's a fact. At this price point, plugging these things into the amps that you and I are going to use as just regular guys and girls, you're never going to know. This is a lovely guitar. As I say, my favourite so far. Like all Telecasters that I've played, the bridge pickup, if you put lots of gain on it, is liable to squeal a bit. But, I think they all do that. I don't think I've ever played a Telecaster that hasn't done that. And I've searched high and low for a Telecaster that I like. I've had many over the years because I think they're kind of the ultimate shit kicker guitar, So many great players have played them. And every time I see somebody playing one somewhere, I think, yeah, man, you know the score, don't you? Then I've gone out and bought one and thought, I clearly don't know the score because I can never get along with them. But this one is very different. Doesn't say Fender on the headstock. I don't fucking care. Means nothing to me anymore. I'm beyond all that shit. I'm very, very pleased with this guitar. I think if you bought one too, you can pick them up for 159, 169 UK pounds. They're almost disposable, a couple of gigs, it's paid for itself. Throw it away, give it somebody else. A lovely guitar. If you buy one, you will not be disappointed. Sounds like a Telecaster should. The pickups are good. Don't waste your money upgrading them. You know what I think about that sort of thing if you've watched my other videos. Buy one of these. I think you'd be very, very happy with it. But how does it stack up against its brothers? This is the JS300 Jet Stratocaster. 3 pickups. See what they did there? Clever, eh? This was the guitar that I initially wanted to buy from Jet. If you watch back again through my other videos, you'll see I initially tried to order a gold coloured one, a lovely sparkly gold one, which was great, but it arrived smashed to fucking bits because, bear this in mind, when you buy one of these guitars, if you buy them from one of the box shifter places, Gear for Music, places like that, they'll probably just come packed in one single box, and that single box is not good enough to protect them. One of the ways that Jet guitars save their money is on the packaging, right? So it comes in just a very, very flimsy box, and they can get broken. So make sure you buy from somewhere that will package it properly for you. This one and the Telecaster, or I should say JT300, came from Merchant City Music in Glasgow. Those boys will always do a good job for you. They set the guitars up well and they package them well. They're not sponsoring me, I don't care. Good service is worth a shout, right? So buy carefully onto the guitar. Once again, it's got that same fantastic neck as its Telecaster brother. Let's talk a little bit about that. These are Canadian roasted maple. And can you see that there on the camera? Let me just check down there. There you go. They're that lovely, rich kind of golden honey colour. And they're roasted, which means that they're just put into a big oven or a kiln and dried, which takes some of the moisture content out of the wood and makes them a little bit more stable, in theory. In practice, for people like you and I, it just means you get a really, really comfortable guitar neck. And they're so nice to play, just like with the Telecaster. To be fair, from the neck point of view, you really can't tell the difference. And I think that's a credit to Jet guitars, because who knows where these things are made? None of them have a stamp on the back of the neck anywhere that says they were made in, you know, China or Indonesia or Japan or America. Doesn't matter. They could be made in a factory anywhere, but they're all so consistent, and that's really important. Not only is the feel of the neck and the profile of the neck consistent, but the quality of the fretboard and the finishing of the frets is also really, really good. Don't think they're stainless steel frets, pretty sure they're nickel frets. So when you get the guitar, when you restring it, you might just want to give them a quick rub over with some wire wool or something similar, just to kind of take the dullness of them. But that's about it, you know. Hats off to Jet guitars for the level of consistency they've got. The attention to detail is great, you know. It's really, really good. You wouldn't know between any of these three guitars, if you put a blindfold on, obviously apart from the feel of the bodies, you wouldn't know the difference in them. They're all good. So this is the more traditional kind of guitar. This is more traditional Fender Stratocaster type of guitar for you. So if that's what you're looking for, this is the one to go for, because there are differences between the JS300 and the JS400. I have to slow down and think there because I get mixed up with all my names. So there's a good chance I'll get some of these guitars wrong. Don't hate me, okay? Be nice in the comments. This is the more traditional style of guitar. And I think that's probably what I like better personally. You've still got things like your jack input there at the kind of 45 degrees on the front traditionally. You've got your three controls there, which you would get on any other Fender style guitar. Again, it's lovely and comfortable to play, not too heavy, and they sound great. They sound so good. They're all so, you know, so resonant and so nice. I'm not going to plug them in because, you know, I very rarely do, because what's the point? It's all subjective, isn't it, in terms of what I'm putting the thing through and what you're listening to. There are lots of videos out there on these guitars where you can see people play them far better than I will ever play them, so you can make your own mind up about what the sounds are of them. But to be fair, you probably know that already, right? We're not looking at anything earth-shattering here, are we? It's Telecasters and Stratocasters. If you know what they sound like, then you know what they sound like. The pickups are ceramic pickups on all three of these guitars, but they're good, you know? People always say, upgrade them, change them. Don't waste your fucking money, okay? Save your money. That's why you bought a guitar at this price point. So, listen, I think I still prefer the Telecaster style guitar at the moment, but it's a tough call, you know. This is a very, very good guitar. It's a good tool. It's been gigged plenty. It'll be getting gigged again tonight, funnily enough. Would I recommend this guitar to you? Yeah, I would. If you want a traditional Strat style guitar at an affordable price, look no further. Ooh. Last but by no means least is the JS400. This is the first Jet guitar that I got. This was the first one that arrived after the disaster trying to order the JS300 that arrived, smashed to fucking smithereens, changed my mind and got this one instead. And look, it's in a lovely seafoam green colour. And a word about the quality of the finish on all of these guitars, all three of them, are absolutely superb. There's no kind of imperfections in there. There's no kind of orange peely effects going on with the paint. The finish on them is just as good as you would expect on anything 5-10 times as expensive as these guitars. They're really good. The main differences between this guitar, the JS400, and this guitar, the JS300, are as follows. First of all, we've got the humbucker pickup in there. So you've got single coil humbucker, which is a good thing to have. It gives you that little bit more versatility, doesn't it? You know, especially, you know, when you want to start rocking out, put a bit more gain or drive on it. It works very, very well. It's a good humbucker pickup. Personally, I think I still prefer the single coil side of things, although, as I say, it's always good to have there to give you that little bit of a twist when you're playing, isn't it? So again, it comes down to personal choice. This one, unlike the JS300, I've kept the trem to float on it. It's blocked on this one, and because I very rarely use the tremolo arm, but this one I thought, you know what, I'll keep it floating just for a bit of fun. So you can see there how it's set up. So the main differences, apart from the pickup, we have an input jack, which is on the bottom there, which is great when you're playing live. It's a good thing. Something to bear in mind if you're playing sitting down, though, is if you're plugging in there, you can sometimes catch it on your legs there, and it's a bit of an inconvenience, but so what? It's a small price to pay, isn't it? Watch what you're fucking doing. Be more careful. Forked out your hard-earned cash for this guitar, didn't you? Treat it nicely. Again, you've got that absolutely superb neck that we've already talked about, every bit as good as these two. Listen, even if you only bought one of these guitars to use the neck and then throw the rest of the guitar away, you would still be getting an absolute bargain. But you're not going to do that, are you? Because you're not fucking stupid. No. Onto the back of the guitar, and this is where things really start to differ from the more traditional JS300. We have different neck pocket on there. So rather than the guitar having that kind of square plate on the back and the 4 screws, it's recessed differently. And you can also see in there that you've got that kind of lovely cutaway scalloped piece in there as well. So once again, when you're trying to be Jimi Hendrix, you can get all the way up there and blow the dust off the strings, can't you? No problem. It's a nice thing to have, and it's really comfortable. Even though I prefer, personally speaking, the JS300, because I like that kind of more traditional feel at the back of the neck when I'm playing. When you are playing this up here, as I rarely do, but I sometimes do, it's so comfortable because it fits the palm of your hand there. I'll see if I can show you. You probably can't see it, but it fits so well. You can hold the guitar like that really comfortably. And it's a very nice thing to have that. It's something that you wouldn't normally expect on a guitar in the, you know, sub £200 bracket, is it? That's something you'd normally get on something much more expensive. Just like the JS300, you get a 5-way selector switch in traditional Fender style down there, but you only get 1 volume and 1 tone control, unlike the more traditional 3 knobs. Hark at me talking about 3 knobs on the internet. This video is going to get banned, isn't it? It's not that kind of film. Calm yourselves. But that's about it. Those are the differences between the two. They both play remarkably similar. Between both of the Strat style guitars, and you won't tell the difference. My personal choice, as I've said, is for the JS300, but it's a tough call. This seems to feel, I think this one probably feels like a more expensive guitar, and that really must just be down to this, because I can't think what else it could be. But other than that, you ain't going to tell the difference. So it comes down to preference, doesn't it? To what you like out of a guitar. Do you want the more traditional kind of Strat style, or do you want something that little bit different to impress your friends with? It's up to you, isn't it? So look, ultimately, it's tough, man. It's tough. If you had to just pick one of these guitars, I think I'd struggle. Because currently my favourite is the Telecaster style guitar. But I think long term, I think long term, and I could be wrong, I think it'd be the JS300 that I'd pick, because I just know that it's not going to let me down. You know, I've always loved Strats, and they've always been my big thing, and I just feel so comfortable with this guitar. Straight out of the box, I knew this was the one for me. I do love the Telecaster. God, it's a tough call. This is how difficult it is to make these decisions, isn't it? You know, £169, it's not a lot in the world of guitars these days, but when it's your £169 that you've gone out and earned, that's a fucking lot of money, right? So people can laugh and smirk about cheap guitars all they want. Yeah, these people have probably got more money than you and me have, you know. We live in the real world, don't we, where we work hard for our money and every penny counts. And the instruments you buy have got to earn their keep and pay for themselves. So it's preference. Think carefully, but look, as tough as it is to make a decision, whichever one of these three guitars you picked, ultimately you won't be disappointed. You'll be very happy with them. Buy all three if you can afford it. If you can stretch to it, then you've got a little bit more variety, haven't you? And you can make a video like me. Probably better than me. That wouldn't be hard, would it? Before I go, could I just say thank you very much to everybody who's subscribed to the channel. There are pretty much, I think, 250 subscribers now. YouTube keeps telling me I need to get at least 500 to start hitting various things on algorithms and such. Things I don't understand. So I'd be very grateful if you've come here today for the first time and you've not subscribed. It costs you nothing, right? Please subscribe. Then you can listen to me talk shit again in the future. Maybe even get notified when I'm going to talk some shit, because I do it fairly often. I do it every day, but I just don't record it every day. Look, as we always say, thank you very much for coming. I do appreciate it. It means a lot to me that you've taken the time out to watch my video. Your time is valuable. It's the most important commodity you've got. So thank you. Until we meet again, please stay safe. Look out for each other out there. Do not let the bastards grind you down. Oh, by the way, my hair. If you've come to see my fantastic long flowing locks, I cut them off because I got bored with them, okay? Don't let the bastards grind you down. We'll see you soon. Until we meet again.